But anyway, let's get to the hot topic. The hot topic of the week. I'm sick of seeing people make videos about it, but I agree that they still need to keep making them because Nintendo's got to hear this. I'm sorry. I know we got different opinions here, but Splatoon voice chat, the reason they gave for not having voice chat because the developer didn't like the negativity he experienced with online games with voice chat. I hear what he's saying, and I feel the same way. Like, I don't personally probably wouldn't use the voice chat unless just with friends was the only way I would have ever used it. But I do agree that it should be there, and their excuse is terrible. And I think it's a missed opportunity for a new IP to catch. It had some pretty good momentum before this whole voice chat stuff. So what do you guys think? I mean, I don't know if anyone here's officially made a video about voice chat. I made one. Did you? I know you made one a while back. Well,
I made one, and out of everybody here, I think T played the game too, right?
Yeah, I played it.
I played it, and at E3, like I said, I'm not trying to defend the decision, but there was no need to talk to anybody, and they were right next to me. Yeah. Like, you have the gamepad there, you have everything right there, and
what do you think about the new
to be honest, it would sound really crazy if I tried to emulate it. It would just be people talking really loud and fast, and like if you tried to communicate the way like how the game plays. I mean, it's not needed, but I agree that it should be in there. But I don't care for it, and I'm not going to use it. And I mean, when I do use it, because I'm going to use like Google Plus, it'll just be to talk to my friends while I'm playing. It won't be for any strategy because the game's just too fast.
Yeah, I actually have wondered this whole time how much strategy will be in that game.
It's not going to be like people seem to think.
It's not Rainbow Six.
What about the Splat Zone mode where you're kind of, and I could see like the professional, anyone that's going to be like a professional team that plays this game, if it ever gets to a competitive level, they're going to find a way to talk to each other.
Oh yeah,
but you just get into a Google Plus room and you talk to each other. I mean,
but that's
pretty simple.
That's really not a good enough excuse.
No, it's not.
Because the people like we're talking off air that like enjoy Call of Duty and they're playing on Xbox, that's not gonna be cool with them. Oh, I got to use my phone. I got to call people. Like,
yeah,
they're used to it just being there.
It's another barrier of entry for them to what could be an otherwise welcoming.
I just don't think this game is aimed at Call of Duty.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Was voice chat there before was it ever there?
No.
So it was never there.
As far as we know, no, I don't think so.
At E3 last year.
Wait a minute. In an interview, he said that they said something like they tried it and it just didn't. Not that it didn't technically, but it didn't work with the type of game it was because the action is so fast. People were just blurting out stuff. You know what I'm saying? People were just, there's a guy over there. Like, oh, he's underground. Okay, there's a guy flying. Like, it just sounded really weird. So he said that they experimented with it, but it didn't really work well. And then now they gave this stupid excuse.
Right.
Well, I was going to say they should have used that excuse.
Yeah, that's the one I believe is that one before. This excuse this time just seems like a spur of the moment type of thing. Oh, I didn't like my experience online, so we took it. Like, that seems stupid. Like,
right. And
I don't believe that.
I made a video about, and it wasn't about, what's his name? I can't think of the developer's name. I know it's a Mono or something like that.
Something.
Okay, well, it wasn't even what he said, his reason, which I think is stupid. It was the fact that when I made the video called I'm Just Cuckoo for Nintendo, and I did it for a reason because I watched a few people. I watched Shokio's video. Of course, Shokio wasn't going to be like this. I watched. I'm not going to name all I watched.
That's what I want to know. Does he like anything anymore?
No, well,
sorry, Nia, if you're watching.
No, I mean I knew, but I don't blame him. If you want that feature there, it should be there. There's nothing wrong with that. But my problem is, as a Nintendo fan, and when I hear Nintendo fans who go out their way to justify any and everything Nintendo does, I don't get that. It's like, if you don't mind it not being there, that's cool. It's not gonna stop anybody. It's not gonna stop me from buying the game. But like we all said, this was a stupid excuse for not putting voice chat in the game. It's like me riding, and this is an analogy I used in my video. It's like me being a fan of cars, and I built this wonderful car that outdoes the Bugatti or one of those type of cars, a Ferrari or whatever, and and because I heard profanity coming across the speakers, I just chose not to put speakers nowhere in the car and leave no room.
I don't think it matters what people say about the game or like what they say about it or not. Everybody should just direct it towards Nintendo. The issue that I have with people saying, well, I don't like when somebody else says that. I don't like that there's not voice. Who cares? Everybody's an adult. They can have their own opinion. If any hatred or it should just be sent towards Nintendo. What I don't like is when people like to belittle other people just because they feel a certain way about a feature or something like that. We don't have the option to pay for PS Plus to have online, right? Like, it's no longer an option. With the PS3, you have an option for PS Plus. With PS4, you have to pay for it to have online, and I don't see people saying, "Oh well, I don't like people who have the I don't see people belittling other people for not having that option. So it seems like some people, any type of hatred should be just sent towards Nintendo. I don't like when people get on other people for saying that, well, they don't care.
Yeah, people are taking it personally.
It's not that they say they don't care. Like Francis, you said you don't mind it. It's not a big deal. You don't like it, but
because it's easily added to the game.
Right. Okay. I can understand that. Yeah. This is what I don't understand. Obviously, if you say you want it there, then it's not okay. But you find a way. Not you. I'm saying people in this Nintendo community find a way to rationalize everything Nintendo does. It's like, I don't understand that. It's like, dude, can Nintendo do anything and be
it's the same
wrong?
Thing with every community, though.
No, but
that's
what
everybody says.
What I'm saying is, yes, I know it is. I know it is.
Yeah.
But I don't care about. I do. But it's. I don't know. It's okay.
Here's the thing, though. Like, people who say, who come up with excuses over Nintendo's excuses why voice chat shouldn't be in it. If voice chat was in that game, 99% of those people would use it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's sure. Thank you.
Yeah. So it doesn't make sense to like say it. Come up with these excuses why it shouldn't be in there. Like, I don't really care about it, but like I feel like it should be there.
Yeah, that's what I want to do here. I want to go down the list here, and I know Francis's stance on it. Voice chat, not a big deal.
I think this should be in. Let me just make that clear. I think it should be in. I wouldn't use it because I don't want to talk to commanders online, Commander Shepherds, fake-ass Commander Shepherds online. I don't want to talk to these because these people are stupid. They do the same thing like on Call of Duty. I just mute.
Yep.
But I mean, I understand. I definitely think it should be in there just to avoid all this BS. So I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, and Rob, what's your stance?
Yeah, it's kind of what we've all sort of talked about. It seems like we're all pretty similar. Like, I don't care. Like, I kind of knew almost from the get-go I would never really use it myself. And I think that the quality of the game is all I really care about, and that's all people will probably be talking about a week after the game is out. But leading up to it, this whole controversy, because I think Nintendo did make that stupid kind of excuse that, the one T you and I were saying, like, we don't believe that one. We believe the first excuse. Right. And so they've changed their wording, and now everyone's losing their minds and taking it really super personally, which I think is really strange. I don't really care about it, but the obvious answer is yes, it certainly should be there as an option. And I think one of the main reasons is when you think about Nintendo's typical stance on just who they are as a company, what the Wii U and the 3DS are supposed to be about. It's experiences for everybody. We want it to be inclusive. We want as many gamers to get out of our games what they want to get out of it. And so I think that removing the option means that some gamers wouldn't get what they should be able to otherwise get out of the game. Like like you talk about the Call of Duty gamer, like the Call of Duty gamer should be able to get that kind of voice chat experience out of Splatoon. And Nintendo's saying, no, we're not allowing you to have that part of the experience.
Because the other part of their excuse was they said they want to branch this game out to new audience. Well,
which would be kids.
This is a barrier of entry. And
if they're thinking kids, like somebody said, it might have been you, Rob. Somebody said, like, have an option that you have to go in and enable or something. Like,
it's that simple. Like, don't make the default to not have it on. Then people have to go out of their way to turn it on, and the people who want it will do it. And
that would be the best. That would be the best course of action.
I think so. I do have to say,
most of the people who own the Wii U, I mean, even Nintendo's own metrics. Most of the people who own the Wii U are in our age bracket. They're in their 20s and up. You know what I'm saying?
That's what bothers me about the whole thing, man.
Exactly.
It's
That's
like they don't
what makes
really
me mad.
understand.
Like,
I think that Nintendo's confused who will be playing this game.
Exactly.
That's where my problem with the whole situation is, because if we was talking about the Wii, then I get it, because the majority who owned the Wii were that demographic, were the kids and the mothers and the soccer moms and all that. Everyone that bought the Wii U, which is a testimony of the fan base of Nintendo, that's really who bought the Wii U, the fan base. Most of us are at least 22 and above for the most part. So it's like when I hear Nintendo say, when I hear this developer use the excuse that he used, it shows me just plainly that there is detachment from who they're servicing and who's actually supporting their system. Because
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree.
It's like you would not make that statement if you truly knew who was buying your games. It's like, come on, man, you only move
I think they're trying to get more younger
systems.
kids, though. I do think they're trying, because they know that they don't have all the kids that they want.
That's true.
I would be surprised if Devil's Third comes out, and if Devil's Third doesn't have it, then I'd be like, okay, like I seriously that would be really big cause for concern.
But see,
that type of game, how it is, it's obviously mature.
I might boycott Devil's Third if it comes out with no.
But see,
that's hard.
I believe Devil. I believe
voice chat, but I just think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I believe Devil Third would have it because of the developers who was making it. I believe they would have it.
All right, let me give my take real quick before we continue on this topic, because I want people to know I'm in a similar boat. I've been playing Call of Duty since Modern Warfare 2 online with voice chat, and I've been muting it since Modern Warfare 2 voice chat. Like even when my friends are on, I'm just kind of giving you guys my background. It's God damn, that's bullshit. He shot me in the back. He's shot me out the corner. They're just complaining about their deaths. Like everyone's just talking about their things that are happening to them. Right. No one's working together. No one's. And then if it's not that, then it's people just BSing about life or what's going on with them. And then you're not even paying attention to the game. So I know voice chat for me, it's absolutely not needed for a game like Splatoon. But I'm just like you guys. That's not an excuse not to have it, because there is a percentage of people that live and die by voice chat, and it could have been that final. This game could have been the one where Nintendo branched out and said, "Hey, we're gonna give you this feature that we know that these people that think they're hardcore gamers love to have in their Call of Duty, and let's see if we can get some of them playing Splatoon." Because I have a friend who's all about Call of Duty, and he saw Splatoon, and he was excited to play it. I didn't tell him it didn't have voice chat, but he has a Wii U, and he's going to get the game. So, I mean, if he wants to talk to me, just like with Mario Kart, he's probably going to call me on the phone, and I'm going to have to chat with him that way. But Nintendo missed an opportunity, I think, to kind of branch out and make this game, to give it the best chance to be as successful as it could have been. I think it needed to have all the features. Just like most of their games have a ton of controller options. I don't see why this one area is where they just won't. But the thing I really wanted to talk about is, someone kind of mentioned it, there's people actually getting mad at us, people with our opinion, because we're not mad about it not having voice chat. Like, they say it should be there, and I completely agree it should be there, but I'm not physically mad about it. And then
I haven't lost sleep about it one time.
No, I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go pre-order the game.
I already pre-ordered mine.
Probably this next week. And there's people that are actually mad at people like us for not being mad enough about the lack of voice chat, and that's kind of what bugs me.
A lot of these people don't even have Wii U, so.
I don't know. There's 3 or 4 I'm thinking of that do have Wii U's.
Go ahead.
I'm thinking that they misunderstanding the reason why. Like, okay, I had a guy in my comment section say post a boycott Splatoon. And I'm like, so I was going to skip past what he said. I said, no, I said, never that. I said, if they weren't by for me, because I don't think it. My problem was mostly with why they said they're not doing it. Not that they're not doing it. If they would have just left it at we're not putting voice chat in the game, I'd be like, well, they should have, but like you said, missed opportunity, but oh well. But to come out and say, this is why we're not putting voice chat in Splatoon, it's like, this is why people think Nintendo is weird.
Well, and that's what put the anger levels over the top the last couple of weeks, was that.
Right. And when I hear people who like, some are like us and then some are way more extreme than us, where like if Francis came out, Francis can see the backlash with Nintendo, and he would point out the backlash and understand why there will be backlash. Some people don't understand why there will be backlash. Like, why would you ever get mad at that? Was the perfect reason why not to put it in. Really? For real? I mean, as a grown man, we can't push a mute button?
Yeah,
like,
that's the other side of it. The people that are just always defending Nintendo for right.
That's what irks me. It's like, because Nintendo will never... To me, the Wii U is a test... Am I off?
You're there. Go ahead.
I said, to me, the Wii U, the Wii U is a perfect example, the perfect testament of Nintendo strange ways of operating. This system kind of got the brunt of that way Nintendo operate, not selling and not appealing to the masses. That's why the system didn't sell. Not because it wasn't a good system, but strictly because of the way Nintendo chooses to go about doing things. And when you justify everything Nintendo do, even if it's an admirable thing to do, it don't mean it's the right thing to do. It's responsible to not want people to hear cursing, but it's not your call. It should be their call.
That's
what I'm saying? It should be up to them. Give them that choice. If you don't want to hear cussing, give me the choice to not hear it. Don't take it up on yourself to just force me not to hear it because you don't like it. It's like they're still trying to be parents to kids who don't own their system when it's adults who own the system. It don't make sense.
Or don't go online. Just play the campaign and lead a...
Right. It's like, know who you... If you got all these graphs here with people who bought the Wii U, you know that it's not kids. Why you continue to have a kid verbiage and it's not kids who own the system? They own the PlayStation 4. They own the Xbox One. They do not own the Wii U. And I don't get where Nintendo is coming from with that.
Yeah, I kind of think like it almost feels like Splatoon specifically is where Nintendo's confused. Like someone was saying something about whether or not, and it might have been you Levels who talked about if Nintendo really understands, building off of what I said, if they really understand the audience and whatnot. And like I do think that for the most part they do, and that's like why they do things like Nintendo Directs and stuff like for the Nintendo fan because they know we like it. But this game, like Splatoon, seems to exist in this weird bubble because of the voice chat thing where it's like they might not understand, just like everything you were just saying. Like you should, do you know who really is playing your system and who will play this game or not? And I don't think they get it,
Mm-hmm. So
that's the only thing that bothers me. So
let me ask this question, kind of change the topic, or same topic, but kind of take it in a different direction. I don't think boycotting the game is necessarily the right thing unless you absolutely you love voice chat. I could understand, I guess, but what is the best way to get the message to Nintendo? Is it getting on Twitter and hitting Bill Trinen? I mean, I honestly think if Shokio makes a video, even though he said many times that voice chat's not a deal breaker, he can use whatever on his PC or whatever. I didn't watch his video, so I don't know what his thoughts were. I'm sure he thought that Nintendo was making a bad decision and it was a dumb excuse, but if he's making a video and then somebody else, a big YouTuber, is making it, is it good that maybe Nintendo's going to see this? Is this a good way to get the message out? Because I think they need to hear it, but not buying the game is not an option for me because it looks so awesome. I want to play it. So it's like, what's the best way to get our voices out to Nintendo that we would like them to have these features and it would help them?
I think boycotting is not a good idea because one. Splatoon is a new IP, right? And if you boycott a game and it doesn't sell well, they're just gonna say, well, maybe it's because it's a new game, a new IP. We should have made this a Mario paintball or something. They're not gonna know it's because of a feature. So just looking at the numbers of the game not selling, it's not gonna do it. So the best way is for them to hear it, and this is obviously YouTube is a venue for that, and Twitter and all that stuff. I think that's the better route to go instead of boycotting the game. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I think that I feel the same way. And Operation what was it? Hashtag We Have a Voice.
We Have a Voice.
There was I didn't see hardly any major YouTubers pick up on that. Any of these people making videos, I didn't see hardly. I mean, there was definitely the community, the gamers at large, and the active gamer life community all posted pics and stuff, but there wasn't this huge movement. And Dr. Trey or whatever, he didn't pick up on it, and it's like, you guys say you want it, so that was a really good idea, and it was a focused idea, and it didn't take off like it should have. So I guess.
Well, I'm learning with some people they ain't gonna support it unless they are the one who coined it or started it.
Yeah.
Right. And then they want to sit around and complain.
See, that's not right. It's about the message, not about who's more popular.
Yeah, well, that's what some are caught up. You could tell who caught up in the popularity because they constantly make videos to generate controversy and back and forth arguing. So that's what they aim.
Somebody just made a video about that. That was really a good video. In this discussion.
Shout out to Mr. T.
I said it, man. That was probably the best video I've ever seen come from this community. It was.
Oh shucks.
Perfect, man.
Wait, which one? I might have missed it. Which one is this? Was this one of your videos?
My last one. It's my last one that's up. Yeah.
Describe it. What basic the premise was, because I think you'll be able to say it better.
Basically, I was. I'm basically telling Nintendo fans because I was going through the same thing you're going through, TJ, with all looking at your feed and all these people complaining about other people who are complaining, and I'm just like, don't let these people steal your joy. Like if you're having fun with what you're doing, your system of choice, then that should be all that matters. And I point out the fact that Sega Saturn was almost my favorite console of all time, and it didn't matter that it didn't sell that great. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and that's all that should matter. If you're a gamer.
There's too many people worrying about what other people think.
Yeah, people lose their sleep over other people's stuff, man. It's like, just enjoy what you love, and if someone loves something else, then
I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses in the gaming community.
Yeah.
And unsubscribe from these.
Unsub these guys. They're not going to change. They're going to keep.
A few people who always comment on certain people's videos, and that's how I saw Angry Joe's video. That's how I see a lot of these other idiots. I don't watch their videos usually, but it pops up in my news feed, and it's like, why are you guys watching this stuff? I mean, it doesn't bring you any positivity, any joy.
Yeah, all they do is get excited to complain about it and they'll post a video they hate somewhere and say, look at how much I hate this video.
And then they tag me. They're like, you got to get this guy, man. They tag me and say, you got to give a response to this guy. I'm like, no.
You're like their hired
It's the council war, man. It's the fight. You got to build the trench up, man, and help them out, man. Scope out the enemy for them.
Did you say this irrelevant console war?
Yeah, that's why I said it.
I see what you did there.
Many people, like, when I make a video, it ain't the console war, none of that is my aim. My aim is just be a gamer. Don't be so extreme, as none of these systems are perfect. Enjoy them, but and understand that you're really just a consumer. That's all you are.
Mm-hmm.
And to go anything beyond that is cuckoo to me.
And Mr. T, didn't you bring up how people talk about this irrelevant Wii U, and it seems to get more press than
I brought that up, the fact that for a system that's so irrelevant and dead, you should get a lot of talk about it, because I brought up the fact that I hope people talk about me this much when I'm dead. I'll be.
Yeah, it's funny how.
You know what I find hilarious? What I find hilarious is that people will say, I've seen the articles, you see them all the time, it's dead. How can a console that's, one, profitable, two, still has games coming for it, be dead? So then what is the PS Vita? Let me know what the PS Vita is, because Sony doesn't even talk about the PS Vita in their financial reports. They don't report on the sales. They don't have
I think people are confused on what it means for a console to be dead. They just don't get it.
Yeah, people are
profitable, like you said.
It's actually doing pretty well in Japan right now, and it's outselling the Wii U by quite a bit each week, but that's Japan.
Which one, the PS Vita?
The Vita.
Yeah, but hold up. But here's the thing, though, Terminator Juice. Japan, that's one slice of the market. And here's the thing. And even with what they're selling in Japan, it's still not great in terms of in terms of sales. It's still not near the 3DS as far as the PS Vita is near the 3DS in Japan.
Well, the difference is
Sony's no first-party games.
Yeah, Sony's not supporting the Vita, but Nintendo's supporting the Wii U. Like,
they're supporting both. They're supporting the Wii U and they're supporting the 3DS. I mean, I think in this generation, I think everybody has found out, Sony and Nintendo have found out that supporting two systems with a plenty amount of games is hard. It's really, really hard to do both, and I think Nintendo's doing a better job of supporting both of their systems than Sony is doing.
And that's definitely why they want to merge. Though.
I think we got off here. We actually talked about the Vita for too long. Just a little bit too long, man.
I wanted to get back to the main question that I want to get back to the question that Terminator asked too, because I have about what's the best way to get the message across. Go back to Splatoon and voice chat. And I wanted to make sure to bring this up in this discussion, and that this is a good time. It's going to be, I think, a pretty unpopular opinion, but when I think about that idea and what's the best way to get Nintendo to realize that the voice chat's important for Splatoon and make it happen, honestly, I would bet my bottom dollar that it's never going to happen. And I don't think Nintendo is ever going to get the message. I want them to get the message because, like we said, I don't care about it, but I think that it should be there for people. But I think as hard as we try, and We Have a Voice is a great message, and it's a great movement that I totally believe in, but I just don't think that Nintendo will ever really pick up on it and do anything about it. So I don't want to encourage people not to try, because I think it's important to try to make your voice heard with stuff like this, because it is an important message to get across. But I kind of feel like it's futile, and I think that sucks to admit. I just don't think that it's ever going to get across.
Yeah, I just don't think that it will. I think we just meant out of the two options of boycotting or what was the better way.
Definitely don't boycott. That's obvious. Don't boycott. Right. And I think if you're going, and I think people should try. I'm not saying people shouldn't. But I just think like the reality of the situation is I don't think Nintendo's ever going to pick up on it. But the hashtag movements like Twitter and YouTube, like obviously that stuff probably does help. And I think that there are people, especially in Nintendo of America, who do see that stuff. I just don't think that those people have the power to go to Iwata and Miyamoto and be like, you should see what's happening over in America. Watch this video, make it happen. They'll be like, yep, no thanks.
Go ahead. Can I jump in with that? I agree with Robert, and I will take it farther though. I don't think it's the reason we're not reaching Nintendo is because they already know we want it. I don't think they're oblivious to us wanting it. I think, like I said the last time, Terminator, I think they haven't figured out how they can give it to us the way they want to give it to us. They can't control voice chat the way they want to control voice chat. So until they can eliminate what this developer said, the cursing and all that, they're not going to give it to us no matter how much we have a voice and how much we, hashtag them about it. They're not going to give it to us because it's not a part of their philosophy. Just like when you look at Miiverse. Why is Miiverse still there? Because if you put anything that they deem inappropriate, they can stop it right then and there. You can't do voice chat like that. And until they can control it the way they want to control it, it don't matter. It's no matter what we say, it's not going to be added.
I also think it's on a developer-to-developer standpoint, though. I think it's also.
Yeah, Call of Duty had it. They allowed Call of Duty.
It just depends on the developer. I think
that's what I'm talking about in-house. I'm talking about in-house because I found it very peculiar that a game like this, I bet if it had been made outside of Nintendo developers, it would have had voice chat.
You guys mean like in like
I'm talking about Nintendo developers. I don't think they're gonna do it.
But here's the disconnect for me: Wii U chat. There's
that's video chat.
Yeah, you can
video. You can look into somebody's house, say what you want to see, probably show what you want to show. I don't know.
I don't think there's any way to report or anything.
I mean, how do you have that and we're still talking about voice chat?
That's why I hope that it really just comes down to they just actually took a look at this game itself and determined, would it work for this game or would it not work for this game? Kind of like how, that first message they said where it's like, oh, we tried it for Splatoon and we just determined it wasn't good for Splatoon. We can hope that that's the real reason that they didn't do it.
Yeah, but even with that, multiplayer doesn't work for every game. Some games, they just throw it in there for something extra to do.
Yeah.
Like, why don't we still should have the option, I think. I mean, regardless if you think it works for that game or not, I think you still should have the option of having it.
Who knows? It's maybe the guy's comment about the swearing was even true then. For all we know, maybe that's actually
maybe.
what it was.
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that when you play the game, you'll find out why, like, especially with randoms online. I think with friends, it would have been cool to have it. But I think once you play the game, you'll kind of realize, like, how you probably won't be spending much time talking to people, especially giving orders, just because of how the game is. But I think it's a little bit of both as far as the.
Yeah, chat is not going to help you the way you think it is in this game, and like Francis said, it's
just fun. Yeah, it may not help, but it's just fun.
It's not Rainbow Six. You're not going to be sitting there plotting it out.
No, it's definitely not Rainbow Six.
I think
that was my quote, by the way.
Oh, was that you? Okay.
I think Splat Zones could justify it. It could be justified for that mode a little bit more than just the basic.
Yeah, Splat Zones does look a little bit more. It could be more strategic.
Because they said that. There's strategies where you send 2 people out to go cut off the other team once you have once you're holding down that area, and you just won't be able to tell them that. So if you got 4 people going off on their own, and then
once 2 people go to one side, the other 2 go to the other side. I don't think you need to tell somebody that. There's only 4 people in the match, so it's like 2 people go.
Yeah, it'd be a little easier.
You'll start running, and then once 2 people go one way, then 2 people go the other way.
I think what it comes down to is if. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, T. Sorry.
No, that was it. I was just saying that the best teams, the guys who want to be at the top of the the leaderboards or whatever, they're going to be using voice chat. Strategy.
They'll probably find a way to make it work.
Well, Nia had that cool service on. Unfortunately for me, you have to have it runs through a PC. You can't use a phone.
Yeah.
Where it has a dedicated server and stuff where people can chat.
It did sound cool though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that when it comes to like Nintendo doing it, like building off what you said, Leveled, like if it was gonna be like an in-house voice chat thing where Nintendo themselves made a first-party game with voice chat. Knowing them, I would see it being something where it would be like another brand new IP where they really built from the ground up like a gameplay function that really required or was built around voice chat. And they obviously don't see like Splatoon needing that for the sake of strategy, but if they made a whole different kind of game and it was all about how you interact and talk with your friends and that was part of like their new idea, that would be the only way I would ever see Nintendo as a first-party company making a first-party game, making a voice chat enabled game.
Full voice chat, like
with full voice chat, like that's why you buy the game is the voice chat.
Yeah, because
it's addition. You buy it because it has voice chat.
It's not like there's a voice chat button waiting when you finish, making the game. It takes development time to throw that in there. So if they feel like it doesn't justify it for the game, they're just not going to put it in.
Yeah, so, Nintendo's philosophy would be like make it why you buy the game, and that's why they would. That's my theory. That's
you're right. You're right. My thing is this. We talk about the strategy aspect of Splatoon not really having a strategy aspect to it. Is too fast. Like I haven't played it, so I can only go off what Francis and T talking about. But sometimes it ain't even about the strategy. It's about the fact that if I want to play with Terminator, if I want to play with Mr. T, I want to play with Francis, and we all on the team.
Right.
I would like to hear Francis laughing. I would like to hear T tripping out because he got shot. Yeah, I would like to hear Terminator be like, man, T, what you doing? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I would like to hear that dialogue, but, and I'm not even an online player like that. I don't play online like that.
I can't believe we forgot the social aspect of how that can help.
Yeah, it's just the social, like, right.
Yeah, that's
it's like
I'm talk with your friends. It's just fun. It's just
I'm 30. I'm 35, about to be 36, and I'm not going over my 35-year-old friend's house with a whole bunch of other 35-year-olds sitting around the TV trying to play Splatoon. But if I was in my own house and I had my earphones on and I can get on, like right now, just before we started this podcast, Drone Crusher hit me up. It's like he want to get on some Smash Bros. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. But it would be nice if when I'm playing Drone Crusher, I can actually talk to him without having to go through outside sources to do that. And it seemed like Nintendo, who was all about the experience, who was all about, the fun factor, hearing your friends is a lot of the fun factor.
That's why I
like not just playing the game.
And excuse me, you look at the gamepad, what does it have?
A speaker on it.
It has a speaker.
A really crappy microphone.
Yeah. So, but this is my thing, T, with that. You go back to Wii Speak. To me, that was Nintendo's attempt to give you voice chat the way that they could, or at least have it to where your parents and those who around can hear you.
Yeah.
They don't want it to where because I think they do think kids first. They don't want it to where a kid could be isolated in a room with these earphones on their ears, hearing all this profanity, and then some kind of way their parents find out about it, and it gets back to Nintendo being sued for. I think they really fear that, so they don't even really entertain it.
But just real quick, the equivalent of Wii Speak is that crap-ass voice chat using the Kinect on the 360, if anybody ever tried that garbage.
Never tried it. I
That
had a
was
Kinect for
worse
about
than
3
Wii
weeks.
Speak.
Yeah.
I never tried Wii Speak, man.
The
was
PlayStation
not
has a
good.
PlayStation Eye that where you can do the same thing too, where it's just kind of like a microphone. It's kind of like We Speak, but it had a camera on it. At least that's what I remember with
Yeah,
PlayStation
when people
3. I
would
think they have a
talk,
camera.
when you would talk, it would come through their TV speakers, and the Kinect mic would pick it up, so you'd hear yourself again. It was terrible. But
I mean, you
Can I
can't
add one thing to this whole voice chat deal?
yeah,
I do want to add one thing. If anybody is a Pokemon player, Pokemon has full voice chat. Just to let you guys know.
Yeah, right.
I know.
3DS has like more. I mean, it just makes.
Pokemon has complete full voice chat. As soon as you link up with somebody, it just bam, it goes right there, right through the 3DS and everything. So, but that's more of, I guess, Game Freak than it is Nintendo.
yeah.
But it is a
Probably,
Nintendo
yeah.
first party game. I mean, Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, they do some of the things they do is differently. They don't care about like free to play, like the free to play stuff. Like they'll release multiple free to play games. They don't care. In game purchases, microtransactions, the Pokemon Company doesn't care. So yeah.
Yeah.
And how about they add this to it too? If they so worried about the cursing and all that, you can report them.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that's
this
actually
person
pretty
like have a flag, and they get so many flags, they get kicked out. They can't.
Yeah,
they
but
kick-
it might be one of those things where it's like, how can they monitor like how true it is? Because it could be people just like bullying somebody. Like, I agree, they should do it that way, but that might be their reason.
You open up the floodgates to that because you just
Yeah.
just take anybody.
Well,
down.
you're right.
Yeah.
You beat me, so I'm gonna flag you.
Yeah, that would probably start happening. So.
Oh, this guy's better than me. Can you please kick him off this game?
So let's move on. We got a couple more things I wanted to discuss. I feel like we all agree that the game should have voice chat. Don't be mad at us because we're not mad because it doesn't have voice chat, but because we all think it should have it. And also, don't defend it for the dumbest reasons that it doesn't have it. There's people out there like that. So
Right. Thank you.
that's-
I'm glad you said that.